Another episode of Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. Live Feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. For all your digital resources, check out travelingtechteacher.com. And also brought to you by thebullyexposed.com, a 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying, so let them help you. Paula Garvey, thank you for joining the show. Women can't be president. They're too emotional. Hello, Gavin. Thank you for joining the show. I really cannot believe that these are the words of a woman. These are not the words of a man. These are the words of a woman. So this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about why people would do this. Why an African American person will say something against their race. Why a Latino would say something against their race. Why a woman would say something like this against her gender. It's very interesting to me. So someone sent me this video, wanted me to give my thoughts, what I thought about this video. So let's check it out together. Let's see here. Let's start with this
Some
one.
steep criticism after she decides to casually share her opinion about Hillary Clinton's decision to run for president. She did this on Facebook. Her name is Cheryl Rios, CEO of Go8 Marketing. She says, a female should not be president. Here's part of what she wrote. She says, yes, I run my own business and I love it and I'm great at it, but that's not the same as being the president. That should be left to a man, a good, strong, honorable man. I can hear people, what? A few shares later, her post is viral. People are ticked off. Well, our Nadia Bilchik spoke with her a bit earlier.
So there you go. There's the video she said she came out with. It just shocks me. Let's listen more to what she has to say. Let's hear her out first, right?
Facebook post, you also wrote, with the hormones as women, there's no way we should be able to start a war. So again, what about women like Margaret Thatcher, Golda Meir of Israel, Indira Gandhi in India?
When I stated that, I also used biblical background and biblical reference. God created us differently. Men and women are not the same. Hormones are a piece of the difference that is between us. The way we react to things, the way we mother, and we're more endearing. And there's different things between man and female, and that's how God wanted it. And again, it's my belief and how I run my household and how I am. Like I believe in the woman should cook the meal for the man. Like I believe in, staying home when you have your child. By no means am I saying every woman out there that doesn't do what I do is a bad female, or that your daughter shouldn't aspire to be the president. If that's what she wants, that's great.
She's
go for it.
contradicting herself here.
Just doesn't mean all it means is that I don't support that. That's my.
Well, she definitely started contradicting herself towards the end. So I think, here's my opinion on this. I think that you tell somebody something negative long enough, they start to believe it. S. Dukes, thank you for joining the show. I think that's what it is. I think someone told her, you're never going to, even though she's a CEO of a company, someone told her, you're never going to amount to anything. You can never be president. You can never do these types of things. And because of that, I think that it's ingrained in her head. And it's ingrained in her head that she could never, or a female can never be president. And that's a shame. And her basis of what she thinks about women have too much hormones, they'll start a war. Every war on this earth has been started by man, okay? We are all emotional creatures. It's just society says that the emotion that a man can show is anger. The only emotion that a man can show is anger. So men are just as emotional as women. It's just a different anger that we show. Let's see. Stooks says women must work in the kitchen, not as president. I disagree with you on that, my friend. I disagree. Oh, is that you, Pico? I disagree with you on that, Pico. I'm sorry. I hope we can still be friends. Hope we could disagree and still be friends. James Team, thank you for joining the show. Oh, okay. Pico is just joking. No. Hey, if that's what you think, Pico, I wasn't going to say anything. We could have our differences and we could still be friends. But it's good to see you, Pico. Yeah, I can't believe that women are saying this. And this is not the only video. After someone sent me this video, I decided to take a look more into it. And I found other videos where people are saying that women are saying that women are too emotional to be president. And like I said, I'm going to say it again because I know there's some people out there that need to hear things twice. Donna Hedges, thank you for joining the show. I'd love to know Donna's opinion on this topic. And if you're just joining us, we're covering women can't be president because they're too emotional. I just showed a video where actually a woman said that. And so I'm going to say it again, men and women, I believe, I'm not a doctor, I just play one on TV. I think that men and women both have the same amount of hormones, guys. So when it comes to hormones, the division of hormones, the ratio of hormones from men to women, I don't think there's a difference. I could be wrong because I'm not a doctor, but I don't think there is. I think what it is society says that that men can't cry, so they don't show that emotion. The only emotion they are allowed to show is anger. So they show that anger and they start wars just as much as a woman would start a war if they were in presidency, or not start a war. Resemble says women can do anything they want to do. Yes, so true. So true. And it's a shame. And like I said, I think that people hear negative things all the time. Like when it comes to bullying, right? I told you guys a couple of days ago that I talked to a kid that his bully said, you're never going to amount to anything. You can't do anything right. And he started to believe it. And he started purposely ruining his life because he figured, I'm never going to be able to do anything right because my bully said so. So why don't I just give up? And I think that's what this lady's problem is. She's been told so many times that she can never be president. Even though she's the CEO of a company, she was told you can never be president. You could be CEO, that's okay, but you're never going to be president. So it went to her head, and she believes it, and we should not believe it. Let's see. Donna Hudgens, 1955, says, really? Hashtags public school teachers. Awesome. Lead the next generation. Yeah. It's a shame. And, it's important that, the African American community, women, gay community, brown community, all communities, okay? Don't do this to yourself. Don't put yourself in a position where, or don't think, really don't go by what everyone is saying, if all the negative things people are saying, and start to believe it. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't start to believe it. If you hear all the time that, you'll never be president, or you'll never do something, you'll never be something, and it's something you want to be, try hard and keep trying. Don't sit there and let people convince you that you do not have what it takes to be whatever it is you want to be. You don't want to be president of the United States like that lady said? Fine. But I just think it's not something I just don't think it's something that a woman should say. Or in many cases, an African American should say, or a Latino, or an Asian, or whatever, that there'll never be a gay president, or there'll never be a black president, because there was. There'll never be a Latino president. There'll never be a Muslim president. I don't think these are things we should say. I think we should just go out there, do the best that we can, and not let people's lies and opinions of us affect who we are. That's my opinion on that. That is definitely. So I would love to hear more from Donna Hodges. And guys, if you're watching this live or recorded, please smash that heart. Please, or start the Q&A by smashing the Q&A button. But yeah, I think all too much people. I mean, this is why it's important. This is what I should say. This is why it's important when you have a person like this saying all women shouldn't, women shouldn't be president. We have to not purchase from these people, or if they're musicians saying these things that are hurting their own race or their own gender, we should not be buying their music, buying their products. We just should not be, because they're taking that money to push more of their negativity, and we don't need it. Donna Hodges, 1955, says, "Can't deny." Yes. And hashtag Senator Kamala Harris. Yeah, I think she's going to do very great. I look forward to seeing what she's going to do. And I just know that this is not a great thing for women or for people who are already being marginalized to turn around and then say these things, Because I'm sure back in the 50s, there were African Americans that were saying, we can't own our own business, or we can't be free if we go for a little further back. I'm sure there are ones that say we shouldn't be free, we should always remain slaves. And I'm sure there was, because there's always those types of people. But if they have a platform like this lady has, she has her own business, we should not be supporting these people. That's for sure. It's important that we don't, because they're helping to keep women down, and we need to go with companies that lift women up, not go with companies that put people down or women down. That's my opinion on it, and that's why it's very important. Some young people don't understand. I was talking with some young people a couple of days ago as to why it's important not to follow musical groups that blatantly come out and are against equality of anybody, whether it's gay, women, or people of color. You should not be supporting those groups. And they couldn't understand. They think it's okay to separate the music from the person, and you can't. You can't do that. Sorry, but it can't be done. Just because someone, let's put it this way. If Hitler had a band, if Hitler was alive now and he had a band, would you support him? Because I know a lot of people are going to say, well, it's not the same thing. Yeah, it is the same thing. If you have someone that's preaching that there should not be equality in the world, and they like their music, how can you sit there and say, I disagree with his politics, but I love his music? You can't. You can't separate the two, because he's taking that money that you give him when you buy his music to go and preach more of his hate or her hate, and that's why we shouldn't be following that. So let me leave you with more and more video.
Interesting to note. I know you want to say something.
You know, the only thing I can say is that, I mean, I think it's a medical fact that men have hormones too.
Thank you very much. I let the man say that. As we were talking about that.
Wow.
It is interesting to note that Ms. Rios says while she's not comfortable having a woman as president, she would consider having a female vice president.
So hopefully Ms. Rios is happy, right? Because we have a vice president. But it's ridiculous the way Ms. Rios thinks. And if you think this way, and you're putting your own gender down or your own group of people, you might want to rethink it. You might want to rethink the hurt that you're doing to your community. So that's going to do it for me today. Please be sure to smash that heart. Share this video with all your friends. And be sure to think before you open your mouth, guys. So Live Feed is brought to you by thebullyexposed.com, a 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying. So let them help you. And by Traveling Tech Teacher for all your digital resources. Check out travelingtechteacher.com. So remember, anyone can wear the crown. Anyone can be a hero. Be kind to one another, guys. And have a great day. Bye.